Hello, man. On today's Big Brother's Little Brother, see how the housemates are handling the regime of military discipline. I mean, it can't be that difficult, surely.
Right, O'Leary, you dismally untalented little man. Get down on the floor and give me 30 of your best sit-ups. Come on, down, down, fast. No, stand up again, stand up again. No, get down when I say down. Right, come on. To my timing. 1,
Dismally
2,
untalented?
3, 4. You obviously don't do sit-ups in the evening, do you, O'Leary? That's perfectly obvious. Come on, faster. Keep your hat on.
Hello everyone, welcome to Big Brother's Little Brother. Hope very well. Coming up on the show today, military expert Ken Hames is here. Hello there, Ken. He's clapping outside. I love his name that much. Here to give his view on the boot camp, the Big Brother boot camp and its impact on the housemates. Ex-housemate Becky's here as well. Hello there, Becky. Flexing her psychological muscles to give us her take on the few remaining housemates. They're just in our green room. Not particularly green, not particularly nice. Here's our team working very hard about it. A couple of them dissing me, not giving me a high five. Others, a couple of people there just chatting outside the toilet. Just trying to chat him up. Not entirely sure. Security guard, hello there. Don't speak, not allowed. We'll kick off, as we always do, Little Brother's Big News. Hey, this morning, after 2 days of taking orders from Michelle and Jason, Ahmed took it upon himself to instigate a coup in the house and install himself as the house colonel. His words, not ours. Here's the moment when he tried to trick Michelle into handing over her uniform. Very clever.
Michelle?
Yeah?
Can I have your uniform, please? I have to take it to the diary room.
My uniform?
Yeah.
Why do you need to take my uniform to the diary
I
room?
need all your uniform to take it to the diary room.
You need my uniform to take to the diary room?
Yes.
Well, in that case, I'll take my uniform to the diary room.
I will take it.
No, you won't. You're not touching it.
Absolute genius. Especially like Stuart's version of someone at Platoon as well. After arguing with Private Ahmed outside the diary room, Sergeant Michelle called for reinforcements taken for this.
I'm doing a military coup and I informed the brigadier.
Sir, the other sergeant requests your help with a military coup that's been attempted by Private Ahmed. Wait, mate. Sergeant Michelle requests that privates come to the living quarters as Ahmed is attempting a military coup.
Is he? Right then.
Now, the mess became a battleground at 12:29 p.m. this afternoon as verbal missiles were thrown and Ahmed was subjected to an aerial bombardment by Dan.
It's your pride now.
Yeah.
This isn't about the task now, it's about your pride.
And Big Brother, you can hear me, okay? I'm not well. Even if I'm well, I'm not doing.
Are you well enough to stand there and argue?
Yes.
Have you ever seen ill? Have you ever seen ill, Ahmed?
Yeah.
Because I've had enough of you.
Okay.
I am sick to
Now
death
you're
of
started.
you.
Okay. Now you're
I'm straight talking.
Just realised how short Ahmed is. I mean, I know I'm not pot calling kettle black and everything, but after much debate and gentle cajoling from Victor and Jason, Ahmed reluctantly agreed to cancel the coup. Take a look.
At this moment in time, yeah.
You know, I always like to
Pull up
finish.
your socks.
I would always like to finish a job, okay?
Just basically show them there'll be no more problems as long as you just do your bit, just token effort. You know, because this task is hard enough for everyone. All you just need to do is just do enough to get by and to not create any controversy.
But after the task, I will continue in my war.
Fair enough, mate.
And that was Little Brother's very big news. He has been a very, very bad boy. So far, Ahmed has refused to polish his boots, do his share of sentry duty, and failed to complete the morning run. First, he said he was ill, then he said he wanted a coup. With that in mind, today's Cool BBLB is simply, is Ahmed justified in his action? Short answer, no. Long answer, perhaps. Here's how to get in touch. Yes, indeed. In light of talk of a coup led by lone rebel Ahmed, we have to ask ourselves, how did we get to this? We could ask ourselves, but actually there's only one man who can really answer that question. And that's military expert Ken Hames, everyone. Thank you very much. Ken, lovely to see you. Thanks a lot for coming on the show. What are your experiences in this kind of environment? I'd call it the CQB, the close quarter battle environment.
Yeah, well, I remember when I first joined the army, I was locked in a room with sort of 50 other guys, and we were there for about 6 weeks. We weren't let out.
Seriously?
Of course, we went stir crazy just about.
So you're almost overqualified to be here.
Absolutely, and you know.
Okay. Can you explain to us why dividing the house into privates and sergeants has created such conflict? Because I don't understand, Ken.
Well, first of all, the leaders have got to make decisions, which are probably going to be unpopular. But the others are going to see that they've also got privileges. They're lower than a snake's belly in a wheel rut, and you know, are not.
I like that term.
They're not going to like being told what to do.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Now we're going to look at a couple of the old boot camp flashpoints and how they led to today's flare-up. First up is the spat that occurred yesterday in the mess. Now this is between Nadia and Jason. We've got our big what do you call this?
Paddles.
Yep, we've got the paddles. And what's this big board here? Is that just a big board?
That's the map.
Lovely. We've got our map and some paddles. It's a lot more interesting than it looks, doesn't it? OK, first of all, I'm going to put Nadia, who's here. She's in the mess.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Okay.
And, oh, no, hang on, that's not...
OK.
The officers, yeah, there's the sergeant.
There's a cowboy.
Yeah, you put Jason.
There's a lot of people like that.
There, right behind her. OK.
Whoa.
That's a reenactment of it. Let's take a look at the actual moment.
As a sergeant, I could have said to you, while you're on duty, it's only 2 hours maximum that you don't eat and you don't smoke, right? As an example of sergeant's discretion, right? You've totally took out the wrong context.
Yeah, exactly. Again, I took out the
relax,
context.
calm down.
Don't tell me to calm down, Jason. I'll do whatever I want to do.
Act your age.
Oh my God! At my age, look who's talking.
Yeah, I'm not shouting.
Well, I'm shouting because I want to. It's my throat. I'll do whatever I want to do with it.
You're totally taking out the wrong context.
Well, fine. I'll take out of the context, and I'll blame myself for it then.
You're a grown woman, for God's sake.
Yeah, exactly. I will. I am a bloody grown woman. Actually.
End of discussion, man.
Oh, please, I'll carry on the conversation if I want to.
Nadia.
Yeah, whatever.
Jason was fairly close to being KIA then, right?
Yeah, I think she was going to take him out.
Lovely.
With her sunglasses.
OK, is it hard to be promoted above your peers?
Definitely, because friendships are going to be put under strain straight away. You know, someone who you knew as a friend, you confided in, sometimes has then got to pull back a bit, tell you to do some unpleasant stuff.
And Jason there was pushing a lot of the right buttons on Nadia. Was that a wise move in his position?
Well, I think he was antagonising her, really, with his body language. I think he should have perhaps sort of said, well, let's go outside and have a little walk around the garden, have a little chat.
Yeah. That's what you would have done. Now, prior to this afternoon's outburst, the cracks were already starting to show with Ahmed during exercise in the garden this morning. Take a look at this.
Come on, slow down!
Ruining it for everyone.
Slow down,
Why did you come here?
You talk too much.
Why did you
talk
come
too much.
here?
Why are you out here? Why the hell are you out here?
Because I'm part of a team.
I like Michelle's sergeant tactic there of actually just taking her clothes off and see if Ahmed will obey her. Will the group ever forgive Ahmed for shirking his responsibilities? Has he burnt his bridges now?
I think he could be in for a hard time in the short term, but he may turn out later on to be someone they could manipulate again, someone to push to the front, maybe be their spokesman for, you know, some of the bad things that they're doing.
Yeah. OK, how would you have dealt with Ahmed there? I mean, he's not properly sick. The doctor's seen him. The doctor says nothing wrong with you.
I think I would have locked him up, frankly.
Seriously?
Yeah, seriously, yeah.
In the stockade?
In the stockade. I think I would, and, you know...
Ken, spare the rod, spoil the child. OK, Michelle's made sergeant by Big Brigadier, and she in turn picked Jason. Let's have a look at how each of them have been handling their responsibilities.
We'll sit, we'll chill out for a bit, man. And what we'll do is we'll get some bits and we'll bring them inside for you, right? After you've had your drink. Would that be all right?
Oh, you're in the army.
1, 2, 3. Woo! Woo! Take him off! Woo!
Just think of the rewards, guys. Big rewards.
Think of the shopping.
Big privilege pass, guys.
That took you, Stu, that took you 44 seconds to peel that potato.
The thinner the coat, the best chance it's going to dry in 2 minutes, because you can actually see them drying now.
Make a grave for the unknown soldier.
I'm feeling like it's starting to be the case that I'm the sergeant and everybody else is a private and everybody's going to start Disliking me.
Right with that blazer there, Ken.
Yeah, it's just a bit on the snug side, mate.
Who is the best sergeant? Is it A, Michelle, who likes to lie down here in the old beds? What do you call beds in the army?
Yeah, bunks.
Lovely,
Bunks.
in the old bunks, watching a couple of lads do a striptease. Not particularly sergeant-esque behaviour, I imagine. Or is it Jason out here, looking at all these lads, peeling a couple of potatoes?
Well, I like Michelle's style, I must admit. You know, she knows how to chill out, basically, and I think chillability in a leader is very important, you know, knowing when to work and when to play.
Sure.
It might be at someone's expense, but...
Do you think she's the best sergeant?
I do, yeah.
OK, interesting. Do you think she's abused her power at all, getting the boys to do a bit of kinky dancing?
No, I think it's kept an air of sort of, you know, frivolity in the whole, you know, it's not been too serious. And I think, you know, when you're leading people, you've got to give them a bit of fun as well. Not to, you know, she's a nice, light-hearted approach.
So, in other words, the fact that Ahmed's kicked off really has nothing to do with the way that either of them have led the troops up to now. It's just Ahmed sort of going off on one, is it, or what?
Yes, I mean, you know, he's obviously feeling a bit cornered at the moment, but you know, I think he could come out again on another sort of coup-type operation. I don't think he's dead in the water yet.
What do they say? The only time you worry about soldiers is when he stops griping.
Exactly.
Excellent. OK, once they're all back on level playing field, do you think they'll be able to forgive and forget? I'm thinking, for example, Jason and Nadia. I mean, they've been at each other's throats for a couple of weeks now, but, so they're not probably looking at this in terms of sergeant and private. But do you think they'll be able to forgive and forget, or is this just going to run and run?
I don't think so. I think this is the breakdown of the two tribes. You know, I think there's going to be a, you know, they're back on a different sort of playing field now.
Yeah.
I think they're going to have to re-emerge. They're going to have to re-emerge with their own characters.
Brilliant.
You know, the competition's back on.
Ken Hames, thank you, everyone. Joining us for Cool BBLB later on, still to come, Becky's going to be putting her time in the house and her psychology degree to good use by helping us analyse the housemates' personalities. We'll see you after the break. Welcome back to Big Brother's Little Brother in the gallery now. It's been a very frenetic day, so let's speak very briefly to one of the senior producers, Andrew. Hello, Andrew.
Hello, you're right. How's it going?
Well,
it's going very good, thank you.
Days like today.
Yeah.
I mean, they're the most frenetic, obviously, probably the most interesting
Keeps us on
for you.
our toes.
Yeah. What's happened today? Have you enjoyed it?
It's been brilliant, actually. Ahmed has staged a military coup, which was fun, and swiftly crushed by Michelle.
Do you like it when that happens? Because, you know, when you put a task in, you sort of produce it, obviously, so you know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And when something like that happens, you've just got to, you know, think on your feet, really, haven't you?
Yeah, and I think that's the fun of it, especially with something like Armenia. You just sort of kind of...
You never know where he's going to go.
Exactly, what's going to happen next. So that's the fun.
Brilliant.
For sure, and doing it.
Lovely. Thanks a lot, Andrew.
All right, enjoy.
Get back to there and give them orders.
Bye.
So anyway, usually on Monday, we'd now get an esteemed psychology expert on to talk about nominations when they are released. However, we haven't had any nominations this week, and we've got a real-life psychology graduate in our midst. It's only Becky. Hello, Becky.
Hello, Gemma.
Oh, you're in character, aren't you?
Yeah.
That's a slight worry for me.
Tell me more about that.
We've got your graduation certificate here. Let's have a look at that, just to prove. Now, I'm a bit confused. Are you a lady?
People have said so. I'm certainly no man.
Yeah, but I don't understand. Are you actually Lady Becky Siddiqui?
Right, I am, but it's in reference to a title in Morocco, which is kind of linked up to religious factors.
That
like
is so cool.
Explains why my dad is so pissed off.
We might be... Oh, I wish you hadn't said that.
Sorry.
Over my knee next time, young lady.
Promises, promise.
OK, O'Leary's last High Kings in Ireland, so we could be related. Now, you picked up on a few psychological things about two housemates in particular. The first person you wanted to talk about was Dan. The clip you picked was a certain conversation he had with Vanessa about Jason. Let's take a look at that.
Yes.
I see him looking at himself sometimes, and he does the whole flexing of the muscles, and that gives him a satisfied feeling. But then, just a few seconds after that, before he leaves the mirror, he looks at himself and he almost sees his real self. And his face just falls a bit, do you know what I mean?
Really?
Yeah. God, I can't believe I study people down to the nth degree.
Yeah, I mean...
Why have you picked that clip in particular, Dr. Becky?
Well, you see, what we have here is Dan is projecting himself onto others. By telling us about what Jason is feeling, he's actually talking about himself.
How do you know that?
Well, he has a very arrogant and quite confident exterior, which I believe is actually insecurity and weak character inside. Psychologically, he's kind of elevating himself by putting somebody else down as well. This clip, really, a few clips later, you'll see that he's actually talking to Jason and saying to Jason, "You're built up too much. It's because you're insecure and you're doing it to make yourself secure."
Now, do you really? I mean, obviously that's good psychobabble, but do you really believe that, having spent like your time in the house and knowing him better than probably a lot of other people do outside?
Possibly, because I see different things. I mean, the other point that I could talk about is. Specifically, when I first came into the house and I mentioned the reason for being in there was to sort of promote a musical career, he looked at me with awe. I realised then it's something he wished he had said, and it hasn't. I mean, specifically...
Do you think there's not a level of honesty with him then? Do you think he's actually playing
I think he keeps himself very well hidden, and he doesn't expose his true nature. I mean, one specific example, I saw him dancing yesterday in the shower, and he was singing to himself, hiding his face, which is almost like... very protective, and I'm not so sure. Then when he was ready, he turned to face the camera. Because, you know, there's 2 cameras in the bathroom, and then he put his hands down, did his little thing, and then started criticising himself by saying, "Oh, well, you know, you didn't sing that correctly. That was a little bit flat." It's really quite...
OK, we'll move on to Ahmed next. Here's what he said when you found out you were both up for eviction. Take a look at this.
You want to stay or do you want to go?
I want to stay, Ahmed. You want to stay or you want to go? What do you feel?
I want to stay. It's pretty good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Then you should have been a man of your choice and said what you meant and meant what you said. Not a man at the moment.
Are you attacking me?
No.
Yeah, I love that. You're attacking me. Why did you pick that clip, Dr. Becky?
Well, I picked this because it was in reference to something that I had to do. I nominated him thinking he really wanted to be out, because my first time that I saw him, he was adamant and saying, "I am a man of integrity. I just do what is right."
That's the reason why you nominated him?
That's the reason I nominated him. And suddenly he's telling me a couple of days later that, in fact, he doesn't want to go.
Yeah.
And for me, that represents no integrity, and it quite annoyed me because I could have nominated somebody else.
Yeah.
It was a wasted
do you
joke.
think he wants to stay then? Or...
I think he started off initially not wanting to stay because he thought we weren't going to want him. And now that he's staying, he's starting, in a way, to believe his own Armenia hype. And he desperately wants to stay, and he thinks we love him, and he thinks we want him to do these crazy antics, and he's going to end up...
Do you think he's playing up a bit on that?
Yeah, I think the night when he smashed in Doring, I think, he was outside, and there's a little smile, because I saw the clip afterwards, and there's a little smile on his face. It's almost like he's contemplating what he's going to do to get some attention. Sure. Because every time he does that, he seems to stay in. So
would you quite like him to go now? Do you think it's probably he's had his time now?
I'd like to see him explode and make a real...
Again?
Yeah, a bit more, and then have him go out.
OK, cool.
Yeah.
You're joining us for Cool BBLB for now. Becky, everybody. OK, so today has been a huge day in the house. Here's a quick recap of today's events. Earlier today, Ahmed decided to install himself as House Colonel. Stuart reacted to the escalating drama by getting the others involved. A fierce battle then ensued with Dan and Ahmed going at it hammer and tongs.
Have you ever seen ill?
And after a careful talking to from Victor and Jason, Ahmed decided to put the mini revolution on ice. Today's Cool BBLB, obviously, is quite simply, is Ahmed justified in his actions? Ken and Becky both with us. Let's go straight to the phones. Sophie from London. Hello, Sophie.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, you all right?
Yes, fine, thanks. Everyone's fine.
Yeah,
I think Ahmed is completely out of line. I mean, I don't think he actually understands the concept of Big Brother, you know, constant rule breaking. He doesn't like the rain, he doesn't like to cook, he doesn't like to be whipped, he doesn't want to be blindfolded, no gay people. I mean, you know, if I was that old, completely would come into shape, you know.
Did you just say no gay people?
I'm sorry?
Did you just say no gay people?
No, he doesn't like, at the beginning of Marco, he doesn't like gays. He was sort of, you know, very back and forward about it. He's just, you know, he's just really always got an opinion about everybody else.
Right.
But doesn't sort of look at himself and what he's doing. Just, I think Big Brother should really crash down and, you know, give him a warning and really try and sort him out.
Do you think it justifies him being kicked out?
Yes, because the whole point of Big Brother is to obviously go by the rules, which is the whole thing, you know, the whole point.
Sure.
So get him out, absolutely.
He'd be kicked out of the army, surely, wouldn't he?
Yeah, I think he'd be gone a long time ago.
Yeah.
But he might have some secret plan somewhere.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure it out.
Do you'd quite like to keep him in there? You want to see this big
I'd
explosion?
like to keep him in there, Sophie, because I think he's going to erupt. He's going to start believing his own hype and really explode.
Well, the thing is, he is
Sophie.
doing that.
I saw you there.
Sorry, he is doing it. The thing is, if you realise that it's only 3 minutes in the whole 24 hours, and everyone else is just so much more interesting to watch, you know. It's funny for a minute and then that's it. So.
You're absolutely right.
Do you think he's kind of guaranteed his own departure now? If he is up for a nomination this week, yeah? What do you think?
I think he definitely has signed and sealed it, and hopefully the public will vote for him. Although I think they're still sided on Jason.
OK, thanks a lot, Sophie.
Thank you, bye-bye.
Andy in Harrow, an email here. It's interesting. The problem with Ahmed is that he cannot handle being told what to do by a woman, and he feels that women are beneath him. That's why he's trying to pull a sickie. He does nothing around the house. Maybe that's his culture, but Big Brother should remind him that he signed up knowing there would be hard tasks and he should adhere to them or leave. Interesting. Harsh. Yeah. But fair. Luke from Manchester. Hello, Luke.
Hello, Dermot.
Go for it.
Hello, Dermot.
Hiya.
Right. Well, I reckon he is justified in what he is, because the army is not for everyone. My brothers are in the army, so he's like, he should at least try and take part, but he's like, if he's ill, it's just going to make him like 10 times worse, because the military, they break you down physically and mentally. So, you know, I think he's justified, and without his mood swings, I mean, I think the Big Brother would be boring, because it's just funny.
Does that mean he can break the rules, though?
Yeah, it depends. He could be breaking the rules, but as that email says, he doesn't like to be told by what to do by a woman. Don't think that many men do, so, you know.
Do you think, at the end of the day, do you think televisionally this is quite fun, Luke?
Me?
Yeah.
Television quite fun?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think televisionally this is good value?
Yeah, I think it's top.
Absolutely. OK, thanks a lot, Luke. Sarah from St Leonard-on-Sea. That sounds like an excellent place to live. Hello.
Hi, Dermot.
Where is St Leonard-on-Sea?
Just outside Hastings.
Oh, lovely. That is nice. What's your point?
I think he's completely unjustified. I think he's acting like a baby and throwing a little tantrum every time things don't go his way. And also, he's not rallying around with the rest of the group, even though they know the importance. The sergeants have emphasised the importance of the task.
Sure. I mean, I think Ahmed's main problem now is the fact that up until now, all his kind of Looney Tunes activities, every now and again, have been quite funny.
Yeah.
But this time he's kind of pushed it over, because Marco and him just sort of like, you know, they were like, you know, cats, weren't they? They had a little go at each other. But now he's actually started to take a pop at people.
Well, before, his lunacy just affected him, and it meant that you could have a little bit of a break and laugh at him. Now it puts up other people for nomination, and they're not having it.
Do you think the others will forgive him, Becky, yes or no?
I don't think they will, no. Right. They don't really like him.
But secretly, I still don't think he wants to go out. I think he loves the attention.
To cry for help.
Yeah.
OK, thanks a lot, Sarah.
Thank you.
Ahmed should stay in the house. He brings more value to the house. He brings comedy and occasional breakout of insanity. Ahmed is also wise, and I think he'll definitely go on and win. He's not out of line. Brett Jackson from Renfrewshire. Thanks a lot, Brett. OK, that's all we've got time for today. Join us tomorrow, joined by Ian Lee. Don't forget E4 tonight, 7 p.m. on E4, and, of course, the main show on Channel 4 at 10 o'clock. See you tomorrow at 6. Thanks a lot, guys.